Hello, Dr. Familant. Hello, class. So let's talk about this quote by Holmes. In reading this quote by Holmes, it appears to me that there's a little bit of criticism around the use of performance objectives in education. It seems to me that in Holmes's opinion, these objectives, they more or less put the focus, the onus, if you will, on the educator, where the educator is ultimately responsible for shaping the student behavior and their learning outcomes. But is that truly the case? I mean, is that really the ultimate sole purpose and value of objective based learning, to have the facilitator there regurgitating knowledge for the student to quote unquote absorb? I would beg to differ. As an adult learner and a facilitator to adults, I feel that there are some clear benefits to outlining and defining performance objectives in learning. Objectives are tools that are used to provide clear goals and expectations for both the educator and the student, serving as almost like a bit of a contract, if you will, helping the educator find ways to create value within the training in solid, specific, measurable terms. Objectives provide structure, they provide format for the learning program, and also the assessment of specific skills and knowledge. Something that I have learned about adult learners, both in my personal experience or professional at FedEx and as a student here at AIU, is that adult learners like to know what they will be learning, how that learning applies to them, how they'll be able to apply it, and that information outside of the classroom, in their lives, and in their career. When time is taken to provide and outline objectives of a course, this is meeting one of those core needs for the adult learner. While objectives have their benefits and their pluses, there are, of course, also some downsides. One drawback to objectives is they may not truly capture the entirety of the learning experience, which includes ensuring that any deeper understanding, deeper meaning is clarified and clearly understood by the student. While objectives may be put in place to assist in the identification of measurable outcomes, this can sometimes be a little bit of a hindrance, right? Because that educator and even the student might have a more narrow focus, centering their attention solely on that metric or that outcome, as opposed to expanding their critical thinking and creativity. One way an educator could measure a student's true in depth understanding of a topic may be to engage them in discussion around the subject, sincerely probing for further knowledge, insight, and understanding, maybe with the use of open ended questions. In one of the programs that I facilitate at FedEx, the facilitator, honestly, we don't really do much instruction. There's a lot of project based learning activities in teamwork that takes place throughout the program, where participants are encouraged to apply the knowledge, not only the knowledge that they gained in class, but also skills, knowledge, experiences that they bring to the training from personal and professional lives. I suppose there could potentially be a disconnect between the learned and acquired knowledge as stated by the objectives. Maybe the objectives do not fully describe what the students truly learn. While the objectives may focus on specific outcomes, students really do gain additional skills through training. Soft skills, insight, enhanced problem solving, enhanced critical thinking. Within that Breaking Ground program that I facilitate at FedEx, that 9-day program, we are provided outcomes to share with every class. Each lesson starts with a list of 3 or 4 outcomes. However, at the end of the session, when the facilitator asks for student takeaways, more often than not, the biggest takeaways come from the insights or the connections that the students have made involving prior learning, not really aligning with the outcomes or the objectives much at all, but more of what the insight that they gained through the training. To enhance my instructional strategies, I would really like to incorporate a sort of mixed methods approach, where we start by setting clear and measurable objectives for the lesson, ensuring that the learning activities align with the objectives, but Also providing the opportunity for the students to engage in group activities, allowing them to analyze, incorporate critical thinking, creativity, applying that newly learned information with prior knowledge and experience. Thanks so much for listening. I hope you have a great day.